Hey, y'all, listen, welcome in the building. Happy Thursday. It's November the 20th. Happy Thursday, people. Listen, I love y'all. I'm glad y'all hanging out with me tonight. We got stuff to talk about. The title is called Shock and Sadness. Shock and Sadness, okay? But before I get into tonight's topics, let me just say this. Let me give you a couple of things that's been going on out there in the streets, a little bit of updates. So, one of the updates is, Wendy and Eddie Osefo from the Real Housewives of Potomac, as the days go on, more little tidbits about their crime or alleged crime is being dropped in the streets, right? And so the latest thing that was dropped was that they have 40 credit cards, some in their name, some in the business name. They use aliases like Wendy called herself Pam Oliver, and Eddie, her husband, called herself Eddie Hennessy. And, they're putting all of this smut out about their case. And so they got mad, and through their lawyer, they was like, it ain't right, it ain't fair. There was other housewives that had similar situations, and they wasn't talked about like this, and it's not right. Let me tell y'all, not just myself, but myself along with some of my panelists. We tried to tell y'all threw eggs, not all regulars. They threw eggs at us, tomatoes. Said Diva was a Diddy lover and all kind of other stuff. And why am I bringing that up? Because during the Diddy trial, we told y'all that when you allow XYZ to happen to one person, it's going to trickle down to the rest of us. Well, here's the trickle down. She's mad because they're putting all this smut in the street before they even get to step foot in the court and saying it ain't right. You don't say. But see, when it happens to somebody else, everybody want to turn their head, turn the blind eye, act like you know what they say, kiki and a ha-ha. It's a kiki and a ha-ha until it comes back on you and your family. This is the way they do things now. They have a whole press conference. Since when do you see they're doing a press conference about people cases? Now, the new wave is you do a press conference and you throw all kind of smut to the news, to the CBS, NBC, Page 6, the New York Times. You throw all that smut out there way before the person step foot in court, and then you expect them to be able to get a jury of their peers that are non-biased. See, what y'all gotta learn is whether you like the person or not, when an injustice is happening, we gotta shut it down. They didn't want to shut it down when it happened to Diddy. And now her and the lawyers, they crying, talking about it ain't right. And I told y'all, they thought because other housewives allegedly got away with similar crimes that they was going to get away with it too. You know what? If y'all don't get no message from me, Diva, the black girl with the gray hair, you are not them. You want to go on your job and show up late because everybody else is showing up late. Don't cry when you get fired and they still working. Are you dumb, stupid, or both? We ain't nowhere near being able to do like the others do. When we got a job, we got to work 20 times as hard, and we make one mistake and they're questioning that mistake over and over again, even though we did 900 other things right. They're going to question us on the one mistake. And in your mind, you like, are they for real now? They're going to question you on the one mistake. You could have did 200 things right. The one mistake, they're going to question you, but I'm not even on tonight's topics. I got to move forward. All I really want y'all to get is we got to stop injustice. It shouldn't have nothing to do with the person. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And we got to call a thing wrong. Because today, they doing nothing wrong. Tomorrow, it will be us. We're going to talk about it. And then just two more updates. The mom from Chicago who got beat up by the gang of kids, the pack of gang of kids, she want them parents arrested. All I can say is woo, woo, woo. And I'll move on to the last thing. The last thing I want to say is that Simone Biles, I'm still really shocked. I don't know why I'm shocked about this, but every now and then, stories I come across, they shock me. I'm still really shocked that that girl decided to get some breast implants. And I don't know why it's so shocking to me, but it is. And then I read today that not only did she get implants, she got silicone implants. I thought they outlawed those. I thought they wasn't even legal anymore to get silicone implants. She got silicone implants. And all I could say to myself is, you got a girl that's been an athlete her whole life, darn near. She knows about nutrition, or she should, about putting the right things in your body in terms of eating them. You silicone implants? I really hope she doesn't plan on going back to the Olympics and jumping around, flipping around, and she make a mistake and fall down on those fake boobs. That's for another day. Let me get into tonight's topics. I'm sorry, y'all. I went off on a tangent. But let me come back. I'm going to bring it back now. The title is called Shock and Sadness. We got Tina Knowles, Beyoncé mom. You know, this is just me. Beyoncé mom be doing too much. Miss Tina Knowles. She said she went to the Kentucky Derby and, you know, she experienced racism there. She said they let a white couple jump her in front of the line, and we're going to talk. You know, Tina, you know, Miss Knowles. She always got something going on. So tonight, that's what she got going on. We're going to talk about it. Then we got this Teacher of the Year. Honey, the teachers be going through it. She was named Teacher of the Year. And then it had to be her own video. She got caught on video beating her own child, the crap out of her own child, talking about, I told you to clean up. I told you to follow the rules. She had the belt and everything. And she was like, karoosh, 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 karoosh. Beat the crap out of him. Now diapers, CPS, cops involved. Everybody's involved now with the Teacher of the Year. And then the last story, our dear Wendy Williams. You know, Wendy Williams, she got a separate independent neurologist to diagnose her. And that neurologist said, I don't see no frontal temporal dementia. And that's the whole reason why she's allegedly in this guardianship. So she said every time, you know, something happens, that guardian retaliates against her. And she says she's not allowed to leave the facility in which she's in unless she has her bodyguard. And the guardian says she can leave. She said, well, she was supposed to go out with friends, hang out, and celebrate the fact that she don't have this diagnosis. She called the bodyguard. She said the bodyguard, nobody called her back. And she said that the guardian has done this before. Fired other bodyguards that did not keep the guardian in the loop. This guardianship that Wendy Williams is under, it is not only sad, it's beyond sad. I mean, in what world? We're supposed to live in a free world. In what world can they stick you in a guardianship and you can't get out? I just mean, it just don't make no sense to me. Be careful, people in these streets. You know, they said the ICE agents is showing up places and taking the people in. And you could end up in a guardianship and your whole life is destroyed. And you like, how did I get here? You don't even know what you signed. Anyway, guys, I talked enough. Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title's called Shock and Sadness. We got Tina Knowles, Beyoncé mom, Jay-Z mother-in-law, saying she was discriminated against. I think Beyonce, I think Miss Tina Knowles think just because she's Tina Knowles, the rest of what happens to the rest of us in the world ain't gonna happen to her. Well, Teacher of the Year arrested, and Wendy Williams, Retaliation. Let me bring the people in. Hey, Julius. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, y'all, hit the like button for the Diva.
Hey, Felicia. Hey, Savannah. All right, people, we're gonna go ahead and get right into these stories. You know what? Hey, Savannah. I'm gonna go ahead and let's just start with Miss Tina Knowles. Let me just knock her out the box and get her out the way. Because Tina's feeling some type of way. She's in her feels. Okay, she's in her feelings. So hold on one second. Oopsie. I don't know why it won't let me let you in, Katrina. There we go. I hope I got you in there. Okay. So Tina Knowles claims white couple was allowed to cut her in line at racially charged Kentucky Derby event. So Tina Knowles has accused a Kentucky Derby employee of allowing a white couple to cut her in line on the red carpet. Knowles, 71, has attended the soiree at least 2 times, but recalled one particular event during an appearance on Peacock's high horse, the Black Cowboy, which served as a big wake-up call for her. It was a very big wake-up call for me to attend the Kentucky Derby and to see this closed-off culture, she said. I mean, just blatant on the red carpet. Someone came up and said, "Oh, Tina Knowles is next." And the other young lady walked up and said, "Oh no, because we need a," and ran right into my face. Knowles then added as if she was finishing the staffer sentence for her. And I said, "A white person?" She claimed the staffer in question then just went behind me, got the couple behind me, and got them on. Here go Miss Tina. Is racially charged there, she further alleged. There's a lot of racially charged energy. The Daily Mail has contacted representatives for the Kentucky Derby and Knowles for a comment, but did not immediately hear back. Knowles has attended the event at least 2 times, once in 2018 and again last year. High Horse, the Black Cowboy is a 3-part docuseries on Peacock, which reveals the story of the Black Cowboy, whose history has been stolen, erased, and left untold. The Kentucky Derby dates back to the late 19th century and is now one of the most prestigious horse races in the world. Founded by the Meriwether Lewis Clark Jr., grandson of William Clark of the Lewis and Clark expedition, the race was inspired by horse racing events Clark witnessed in Europe. The first Kentucky Derby was held on May 17, 1875, and its attendance continues to grow year after year, attracting spectators from all over the world. Dressing up for the Derby has become a long-standing tradition that adds to the excitement and glamour of the exciting event. Each year, attendees show up in colorful outfits and decadent dresses, as well as the most head-turning hats. The documentary comes just months after Knowles revealed her secret cancer battle in a candid on-camera interview. Knowles said she was recently diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer after doctors discovered 2 tumors during a mammogram appointment. The fashion designer, who is the mother of Beyoncé and Solange with ex-husband Matthew Knowles, says her daughter supported her through the horrific time by lifting her spirits at hospital appointments. That's her and the ex-husband, okay? That's her in the picture of Diddy when he was, a free man. I was nervous, she told Gayle King on CBS Mornings, and so they started just joking with me. Knowles says Solange also played a viral video about the word demur to cheer her up at one point. I start laughing. I get out of my head. Then I said, "I'm just so happy that y'all are here," she said about the touching moment. Knowles says Solange and her niece Angie also sang the song "Walk With Me" to her before one of her surgeries. "It's about God walking with you into something and protecting you," Knowles said, through tears. "And I went in there feeling just like God has got me." Knowles added that although she recovered from the cancer, she suffered significant hurdles along the way. She told CBS Morning she contracted a post-surgical infection so bad that she almost bailed on Glamour's 2024 Woman of the Year event in October. Knowles said Beyonce in particular urged her to rest after then attend rest rather than attend the event, but she pushed through because it was important to her. A lot of my life, I just refused to be recognized. I would never take an award. I would never want attention on me. And this was me. This was my saying. I deserve this, she said. Knowles also revealed that her cancer might have been caught sooner if she hadn't delayed her mammogram appointment. Doctors told her that if she maintained regular screening, which are scheduled every 1 to 2 years for women over the age of 55, the cancer may have been caught at stage 0 instead of stage 1. So Miss Knowles says she experienced discrimination at the Kentucky Derby. Julius, your thoughts?
Oh, boo-hoo, cry me a river. I have experienced discrimination for just simply existing, for minding my blessed business. This woman has millions in the bank. She's part of the uppity crowd now, and she wants me to feel sorry for her. I don't. Cry me a dang river. You know the crowds that you run with. You know the uppity gonna be uppity towards you. This is not a surprise, but then you want to cry foul to us. But when we speak out about it, when we come together, when we organize, and when we bring forth the conversation, where's your voice then? Nowhere to be seen because it interrupts your millions of dollars. I don't feel sorry for her.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Um, while I empathize with her, with her going through her cancer battle because it is a lot to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really, and I don't want to sound harsh about it.
Mm-hmm.
You going to one of the most racially events that you could go to, which is the Kentucky Derby, and you expect not to be some racial biases being there. I think we have to stop expecting these people not to be themselves. On a normal basis, people experience these racial biases and things on their job, in government, in a walk of life. And she ain't speaking out about those injustices. I don't want you to come and tell us about the upper class show where they come and put on their big old hats and they designer suits and strut around and trying to be on whatever cover they can get on. If you're gonna be a trooper for the racial biases and injustice that you're seeing, then be out there on all of it, not just the Kentucky Derby. Because I feel like if you go there, you got to know that it's gonna be some form of racial biases you're gonna feel there, because it's just what it is. It's one of those events where they don't really want to see us there. Um, Again, I'm praying that she get through her cancer thing, because they talk more about that than it is about the pole derby. And all we know is there was a white couple that jumped her. Listen here, she too old and too blessed to be worried about somebody jumping her in the line.
That part. Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Hey Diva, hey panel, hey chat. All I can say is welcome to the real world.
Mm.
Y'all living, oblivious like these things don't happen. So now you got it smacked in the face and you see it still is there. Just because you Beyonce mama doesn't mean that you are one of the famous people in the world. So only thing I can say is welcome to the real world, and I hope she be good on her cancer diagnosis. That's all I got.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is such a non-story for me because, in my opinion, said it correctly. There are certain guidelines and rules and etiquette that you have to follow at the Kentucky Derby,
Mm-hmm.
especially this type of event. You know, it's very upscale. Of course, the hats are lavish, and people plan for what they wear to this event. It's just like their Met Gala. So I don't know what she expected. That is their behavior. It's just that it is what it is for that type of event. I don't know what Tina went in there expecting. Did she think because she was Beyonce's mama, she wasn't going to experience any of that? And most of those people probably didn't recognize her or know who. This is money that is generational wealth type of money. This isn't, I don't know. Your Beyonce's mom probably wasn't recognized in this type of event, but I just don't know what her expectations was, and this wasn't just a story for me. I don't know.
Thank you, Felicia. Your thoughts?
Hey everybody, good evening. I don't think Tina thought y'all was gonna be this cruel to her. I mean, dang. Oh goodness. Okay. So it sounds like she did an interview and she was just commenting on something.
Mm.
And this is a woman who her husband robbed her, and she still claims she don't know what happened. So I'm going to take that as part of her personality, that she kind of moves in spaces and she's unaware. She's just unaware. And yes, she is too old grown and too blessed to be that unaware, but she is. And Julius is right. She needs to get out here and speak about all the unrighteousness that's out here. Not just when you went to some Kentucky Derby and either the people didn't recognize you or your skin wasn't white looking enough, and you claim, like they say, some white couple. I mean, this is ridiculous. But she's so unaware, And I do wish her full recovery. I'm sorry that she has to go through that. I also, did you read to us that it said once you turn 55, you go every other year?
That's what that article said, but I always say you go by the recommendation of your
doctor. Yeah. So I'm really sorry that she had to go through that. And maybe, 2026, she'll be more aware that she is a mother and a grandmother and probably a great grandmother now. And she's going to be moving into spaces where people don't really care about that other stuff. Just focus on your family. I'm done.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for your comments on that. Let's move to this teacher of the year that was arrested for what they saying, a beat down on her own kid. So let's go into this story. So Alabama teacher of the year arrested after video surfaces of alleged assault on her kid. Okay, so ain't saying nobody else's kid. She beat down her own kid.
No, you're not sorry. Because if you were sorry, you would do this stupid
Hold on a second.
No, you're not sorry. Because if you were sorry, you would do this stupid to begin with. You wouldn't make extra work on everybody else in this house because you won't clean up after yourself. Because you don't do what you're supposed to do. Do you understand me? Ow, 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 ow! Everybody else will say, please move to your goddamn work while ago. And she run off down at the neighbor's house. Ow!
Yikes is all I can say. A woman, on this, I pause this. A woman crowned one of Alabama's teachers of the year is in hot water with the law after allegedly whipping the S out of her child with a belt on video. Nicole Staples, who teaches second grade at Cottage Hill Christian Academy in Mobile, was charged Wednesday with willful abuse of a child under 18, according to the county sheriff's office. That's her mugshot. The video is startling. Staples appears to hit her adolescent son on the backside upwards of 20 times after hurling a flurry of curses at him for not cleaning up after himself. She appears to grab him by the hair before seeming to smack him again. Even more surprising, Staples was reportedly named co-teacher of the year in May this year, according to AL.com. Cottage Hill Christian Academy head of the school, Chris Brazil, told the outlet Cottage Hill Christian Academy prioritizes the well-being of children above all else. We will always act promptly, transparently, and responsibly when matters arise that may impact the safety or integrity of our school community. The sheriff's office tells TMZ they're aware of the video. The sheriff's office says Staples' children have been placed in safety care while the case is being investigated, which was agreed upon by Staples and her husband. We're told sheriff's investigators are interviewing the children as well as other teachers and neighbors. A rep for College Hill Christian Academy tells TMZ they placed Nicole on administrative leave pending a full review of the incident. The spokesperson goes on to say the school is cooperating with the City of Mobile Police Department. Julius, your thoughts?
Ooh. I've seen a whole lot of they said 20 times.
They said upwards to 20 times.
Ooh. She is angry.
Mm-hmm.
We heard that child say, "Stop, please stop." Okay, I get. And then she had to smack him after. Now, I'm not going to speculate. Yes. Are you angry at your husband, boo? Did you want to do that to your husband, but you seen your son in your sights, and so you just decided just to weigh him? Like, I understand I say about the village, and we need to discipline our children. I stand on that. But not this kind of overly top, exaggerated discipline. And I'm going to be honest, now that this has made headlines, because I seen a video of this earlier on Facebook. If she doesn't show like, it'll be one thing to get a whooping, but then it'll be over with. But this was more than that. And if she doesn't get herself in check into some kind of therapy, okay, so the kids in Chicago, they was bad. This is the kind of whooping they need. But over cleaning something up in the house, no. It's one thing to disrespect elders in slang and all of that. But because I heard her say in the video, you need to clean up after yourself, yada, yada, yada. I heard all that. I don't think it's because of that. It has to be something else. That's it.
In my opinion, your thoughts?
Okay, so let's be clear. Okay. There's a difference in disciplining your child and abusing your child. Okay? You're never supposed to, and this is the reason why I so wish that they would put everybody in, the minute you have a baby, put them in parenting classes. Because there's a difference between a healthy discipline and an unhealthy discipline. She never should have put her hands on that child in that state of mind she was in. She was angry.
Mm-hmm.
And that baby was scared. And I'm willing to bet it was one of those other kids that she got that recorded this. Because they've been going through this. Now I know the teachers are overworked. They have to deal with these bad children, and then they come home and they take it out on their own kids. You cannot do that. You should never get to the point where we are grabbing kids by their hair and smacking them around. They are not your punching bags. Kids' bones are fragile. And you never hit a kid in the face. I really was really pissed off because how dare you snatch this baby up? Had somebody snatched you up, you would have wanted to press charges. So now you think it's okay to snatch your own up because you pushed them out? How dare you? We need to figure out healthier ways to discipline our children. It's not got to be this, I'm going to beat your, like, whoop your children, of course, but don't go overboard and don't do it when you're angry. Because when we angry, did you see the kind of force she had with that belt? She was yanking that thing back, and the dog was in disarray. He jumping around like crazy too. He's like, what's going on here? I just feel like this. Lord, I'm gonna pray for her because I just got to figure that that's just the anger in her. I don't think she maliciously was abusing her kid, but when we discipline in anger, this is what happens.
I appreciate you. Thank you. My opinion, Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts is who was the person that was recording her and then try to stop it. Me myself, I do sometimes believe in discipline only when it's deserved. Now I ain't saying about no clean up no room or whatsoever. And people are saying about this the kind of mama that want the kids needing in Chicago. That's not true either. But I have learned, and what people on this panel has told me, that spanking kids is like a form of slavery, the way the slaves treated when they didn't do what they supposed to do with the lashes. Um, Discipline comes in different styles. You can take something from a child, they can't play the game, they can't do this, they can't do that. The thing that gets me is disrespecting your mom. Now that's a whole different lot. That's a whole different level of discipline. But to sit up there and whoop that child like this, and somebody recording you, that is so pathetic. And if you have to record my mom doing me, his mom doing this, why didn't you go over there and say, "Mom, stop"? I don't know how old a person was who was recording it and put it out there. So she's teacher of the year at home at school, but what? She's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at home. She got two sides. Now, what if she gets mad like this in the classroom? Will she discipline a child like that as well? Um, like I said, this is a whole nother level of discipline that I've never seen, and it's sad. And hopefully, she can get some help. I don't know what they're gonna do about her going to school with that on her record. So whoever did record it and sent it in, you just messed up your meal ticket because she might be finna get fired. But that's all I got, Diva.
Savannah, your thoughts?
So Diva, I had a hard time when I saw this story originally, and I saw the video. I had a hard time because it's a trigger for me, and I couldn't believe that in the article it said that she was placed on administrative leave. So I went digging and trying to find the update on this story, and so she has been fired. She's no longer an employee of the school. She did post bail. It was $7,500 for her to get out. So the person who was videotaping was her younger son. He videotaped it and sent it to his older brother, who no longer lives in the house. That man is 24 years old, and he made it public, and because he did not believe that his brothers deserved that type of abuse. And the young man said that he experienced that level of abuse his whole life until he was able to leave, and that their father never intervened in protecting them from her. So there is a father in the home, and so I don't. I'm glad that the young man videotaped it. Um, that was clear child abuse, and um, that young man is going to have scars now for the rest of his life and need therapy. Um, I hope that she never gets custody of her children again. I don't think she deserves to be a mother if she's had this history and pattern. I hope the older brother gets custody of his brothers and is able to take them through the kind of mental health that they're gonna honestly need. And the reason he got that type of beating was she asked him to clean the kitchen, and he went over to the neighbor's house to get something, and because he didn't do it in at the time and pace that she wanted, she did that way. And the other young man was scared. So I'm glad that the school did fire her, because administratively actually triggered me, because that's as a unaliving someone unjustly and they're on administratively, that upsets me when I hear that in the story. And so I'm glad that the school did the right thing by firing her as well. And I think she deserves some jail time, honestly.
Yeah, thanks, Savannah. So again, this is just Diva's opinion and thoughts. I do not believe in the beatings. I don't believe. I feel that you can get your point across to your kids just by talking to them. And I don't think though. I honestly don't think those beatings help. I think they make things worse. So it's very sad. Thank God the younger one filmed it, sent it to the brother, and Savannah, much appreciated for coming with the additional information. Thank you so much. Felicia, your thoughts?
Okay, there was a lot going on here. I agree. There absolutely none of this whipping. These are your children. If you had them from birth, they know how to communicate with you when you're being reasonable. And when your head is hot, you just say, listen, mama's head is hot. I'm going to whip somebody's ass up in here if you all don't take a step back. Now, let me go in my room, relax a minute. I'll come back. We'll talk about it, but not now. And nobody leaves the house. Nobody. But none of this violence. But this mother, the way she was doing it, you could tell that she was disconnected, in my opinion. She did it often. And then when I looked at her photo, honestly, she looked like maybe she was PMSing or something. Maybe she had a rush of estrogen or something. She didn't seem like somebody just she looked like she'd been in a car accident. She looked like she had been in a physical fight. She didn't look like somebody who went out and just beat up a kid. And God bless the older brother for being an outlet to the younger brothers. It's unfortunate they didn't say it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the husband is not a victim of domestic violence. I would imagine that she gets the whipping there too. I'm not sure why the school fired her though. I'm a little confused because they didn't say she beat up any kids at school, because we got all these teachers beating the kids up at school, raping the kids, assaulting the kids, and all this stuff, and they get to keep their jobs. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence about that, folks. Okay. And I also believe, and Savannah, I'm hearing your hurt, and I don't want you to think I'm dismissive of it, but I'd like to see her get serious counseling and some parenting classes, and maybe get a medical checkup and be able to reunite with her children when she can. I'm done.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, who is all I can say is wow. I mean, in the beating to that level, then the snatching up, and then they that listen. I love two parent households, but we often talk about how they'll just say how this happened because this person was in a one parent household. The father was in the house. That's why I often say it's about how you are parenting that child, whether it's one of you or two of you. Daddy's in the house. And the older son said, it went down under dad's watch when I was there. Gonna roll into this last story with Wendy Williams and the retaliation. And retaliation, it happens in a lot of levels. It happens at jobs. It happens in households. It happens in relationships. It's very sad. Let me go into this. So Wendy Williams fears her guardian, the Sabrina BITCH, is keeping her from friends as punishment. I often say, how do people sleep at night? Wendy Williams and her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, will never be friends, it seems. After renowned Mount Sinai neurologist Dr. Samuel Gandy reportedly cleared Wendy's of having frontotemporal dementia aphasia, the former talk show fears her guardian, Morrissey, is in retaliation mode, according to insiders. A rep for Mount Sinai that would not confirm if Wendy Williams is Gandy's patient due to HIPAA rules. On Wednesday, Williams was anticipating having dinner to celebrate her new health update, but she couldn't get in touch with her bodyguard. She thinks Sabrina may have dismissed him, a source on page 6. Williams is not allowed to leave her luxury living facility where she lives on the memory unit floor without a bodyguard, unless her news anchor niece, Alex Finney, visits her from Miami, Florida. She can't go anywhere without Sabrina signing off and the bodyguard being there, the source said. Despite Williams' state footing the bill, sources believe the bodyguard may have been dismissed because the Guardian has done this before. She fired a previous bodyguard. They don't keep her in the loop. Morrissey doesn't want her to go out, they allege to us. Wednesday's shindig was planned 2 weeks ago, with Williams pals expecting to feat the How You Doing broadcaster. Comedian Lunell and Williams' former Wendy Williams show producer Suzanne Bass were looking forward to surprising her at Max Tushy's restaurant in New York City's NoHo neighborhood, we hear. The trio linked up without her in the end, but Lunell, who was Wendy Williams' mentor when she was pursuing stand-up, did manage to have a phone chat with the former talk show host. We're told Lunell gushed, "I was going to kiss you, hold your hand," all of that S you don't like on their call. "I'm praying for you, Queen," Lunell told her, according to a source. Williams, in return, says she wants to introduce a comment during one of her Las Vegas dates whenever she gets out of her guardianship. "It was a sweet reunion, but would have been much better in person," the source said. Williams' pals believe her recent outings included a trip to Connecticut for the wedding of her power attorney, Joe Tocopina's son, pissed off Sabrina, the BITCH, as they all affectionately call her. Tocopina did not comment on the specific claims about Morrissey and the bodyguard when reached out, but he does believe Wendy is not being protected. She's being punished. What should have been a safeguard became a system of control that limited her voice, her choices, and her dignity, he said. No guardianship should ever feel like a jail sentence. I'm adding the word jail. This is horrific. Julius, your thoughts?
That title is correct. Talking about Sabrina. Oh, it's so correct. Cause what you keeping her locked up for? I must say it what it is. What you keeping her locked up for? I'm gonna be frank, okay? Wendy was using alcohol to hide her pain from Kevin's serial cheating. She was broken. She was numbing herself. So instead of getting her therapy with psychiatrists and, coming up with a regimen to heal her mentally, emotionally, psychologically, all the things. You just decide, oh, her son took like $500,000. Let's lock her up. Mm. And another thing, talking about the money for one quick second, she must still got some loot, as Biggie would say, because she's still in this facility. And so let's just be real. They want to try to make a example out of her because they lost with Britney Spears. Even though California and New York is two different states, however, the abusive practices are the same. And just because she mispronounced a word or slurred her words once in a while, we all do that. We all mispronounce a word and we all have slurred speech sometimes when we're trying to really get a point across too. I do that on this panel sometimes. We have to really come together and hope that she can make it out. Because I think they're gonna bitterly abuse her to the very end because she is lifting the lid on the abuse that she's going through with this thing. Free Wendy. When do we want Wendy free? Free her now.
Thank you, Julius. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Um, so I think they got Wendy at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? She was going through a divorce. Her husband then had this side piece baby. She was drinking. She was doing the substances, and they just thought this was gonna be an easy pickings. Um, thank God she's got a doctor that has cleared her of this diagnosis. But as Sabrina has done, she's got another doctor that has said she has this. I don't know how this story ends, but I do wish they would stop playing with Wendy like this. If she had this scheduled for 2 weeks, let her go. If you didn't tell her in advance that she couldn't go, why are you firing bodyguards to get her where she can't go? It feels like it's a double edged sword. I'm not holding you back, but I'm firing your bodyguard and you can't go without me. So essentially, you're saying she can't go. Sabrina, they on your head top, baby, and for good reasons, because you've been doing some sneaky stuff, and I really think they trying to keep her there to balance the money that they done spent. I think they gonna keep on putting her there because they've taken so much of her money that they can't account for it. So they need her to stay as long as possible to try to account for this money. And I believe that's what they're doing. They're doing the cleanup game now. When will Wendy get free? No one knows. This lady had sold all her property, then sold all her stuff, had access to her account. I'm pretty sure her book is dry, and I'm pretty sure they're trying to figure out a way to account for all this money before they let her free.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
I'm still at the point where I'm a grown tail woman and I'm still being told what to do. And then being told what to do by using my own money. This is crazy. If Wendy want to go out here and walk in her little blue jean shorts and them little boots, let Wendy go do what Wendy want to do. Yes, we don't want to see her stuck on substances and stuff like that, but that's not our life. That's her life. If that's what she wants to do, we want to see her sober. We want to see her back doing what Wendy does in the purple chair. But I don't think that will ever happen again. Um, Hopefully, she can get some resolutions to her problems and everything that's going on. And these people, I mean, I have never seen a case where you can't tell a grown person can't do what they want to do. This is ridiculous, a bond ridiculous. So good luck, Wendy, and I hope for sure that you get up out of there. And they need to stop misleading this woman, having her thinking she's going somewhere and then she's not. That's like a double suck. I mean, that's like a double sock in the face. That's ridiculous. That's like I said, I'm 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 just hoping Wendy get out of what she's got going on. That's all I got, y'all.
Thank you. Savannah? Did we?
So you know what's ironic is that when this started in back in what 21, 22, with Wells Fargo freezing her accounts, you know, they thought it was they deemed her at that time incapacitated, and that she was a victim of financial exploitation by members in her circle, which later we found out was her son and management team and stuff. But it seems like now it's the people that were supposed to be supporting and overseeing her are the ones who have now become the exploiters of her financial assets. And I agree with him, in my opinion. I think this is them trying to save their own skin because they can't account for all the money that Wendy Williams, because Wendy did have um, a substantial amount of money. I mean, she had several businesses going from not only extended outside the show. Remember, she was on QVC and the jewelry line with Joan, and she had other venues going on. So Wendy had some money. I mean, it afforded her ex-husband and a whole new, a second life. So all I wish for Wendy is to be free and able to the remainder of her years how she wants to, surrounded by her family. And I want them to keep harassing Sabrina and staying on her neck and exposing her. I think eventually they'll get exhausted, and I do see and hope that she is allowed to do as she please and be Wendy, extravagant, flamboyant, over the top. But does she need overseeing as far as when it comes to her medical? I agree that I do agree she needs someone there, a proxy, or have her best interest. But financial, it's her money. She worked hard for it, and I don't think so anyone should be able to tell her how she lives her life.
Thank you. Felicia, your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I agree with everyone on this panel. That woman worked hard, earned her money. She has the right to live her life. We went through this before. How does someone end up with a guardian? And we talked about how folks need to be looking forward that it doesn't happen to them. It seems like an easy move for them to drain your wealth and your ability to have something to leave your children. Savannah, you made an excellent point about the exploitation. However, the piece with her son, you know, her son was accustomed to living a certain lifestyle. So those numbers seem pretty high for Uber delivery or whatever, but that's how they were living and stuff. I think that was always a part of Sabrina the Bitch's strategy to deflect and say it with someone else, not her. I think it's been her all along. I don't think it's ever not been her. And I say that today still, because why does she need a bodyguard? The last time we did this story, she needed Sabrina the Bitch's lawyer to get on the plane with her to go to Florida. And he got paid for the 24 hours in a whole day. For the 3 days they were in Florida. So nobody accompanies her from the guardianship and is not being compensated. So she was going with other people. She was going down to NoHo, they said. So she would have been maybe in a cab for 5 minutes.
Right.
But you can't go because you need a bodyguard. It's all BS. It's BS. When she goes out with her niece and stuff, she doesn't need a bodyguard. So I'm not buying any of that. I'm not. I think these people Sabrina puts out there is to document everything she does, to maintain control. And it's unfortunate because you have other people who are really literally locked up in a jail cell. And this woman they're talking about, oh, she's in this residency. No, it is a jail because she's not free to leave.
Facts.
And I pray that in 2026, her freedom comes early in the new year and that she's able to look back and continue on the road of recovery that she's on and to have a greater appreciation for her freedom.
Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Before I close out, this is just an update. I want, in case everybody did not see this, I just want to show this real quick. And this is an update on the story. The mom who, unfortunately was attacked by the pack of kids.
Struggling. And ever since this is clearly still struggling. And ever since this video went viral, Cheryl, there has been an outcry about bullying, concern about bullying, the need for grown-ups to pay attention about complaints of bullying. Also, there has been an outpouring of support for the victims of this attack. This is not how she says she wants the world to see her. Korshonda Hatter has sickle cell, but she says she has never endured such pain.
So much pain, emotional, physically, I'm not feeling good at all.
Today, she spoke with us, still under treatment for the serious beating she took on Monday as she walked her two kids home from Bright Elementary School. Hatter says she told the school staff for 2 years her son was being bullied. Sometimes, she says, older kids would follow him home.
2 years and they have not done a thing. If they see me coming towards the school, they will run or tell the security that they're not, to tell me that they're not there.
Video shared tens of thousands of times on Facebook shows the attack. You can see her being punched and eventually falling to the ground, where the assault turns even more violent. We've frozen the video here because it's too graphic after this point. We've also blurred the faces of the people involved because they are minors and no charges have been filed.
I'm at work, and if I was with them, it wouldn't have happened.
Devon Lee Sr. is the kid's father.
I want justice. I definitely want the school to be responsible and the parents too, and also the kids that have done that mess.
Hatter, who says her whole body hurts, says she's trying to be there for her children who have endured so much trauma.
They both is devastated. They keep talking about it. My son will just jump out of his sleep at night, calling my name.
We also have trauma too. I couldn't sleep. At all. I had to force myself to see because every time I close my eyes, I see the video.
Today, the city's deputy mayor tells us they're working on getting more help for the family and other families in that neighborhood. A donation box at Living Fresh Market in Forest Park was installed today to help the family and others who may need clothes and toys this season. This after yesterday's rally of support by parents and residents in front of Bright School. Hatter shares amid her pain, she is able to find gratitude.
I thank God for those people. I never felt that much love in the world.
Deputy Mayor Gary Gatewood tells us that CPS is investigating what happened here. When did they know about it? What did they know? And how something like this could have been prevented. CPD tells us they are also continuing their investigation. Now, meanwhile, the family has left the neighborhood. They will be relocated and the children will be enrolled in a new school. And Ms. Hatter tells us all of the people who have made promises and commitments over the last 24 hours, she hopes that they will remember this family in the weeks, months, and years to come.
I just wanted to show that to y'all. We will stay connected to this story here, just to make sure that all is going to go well with them. Very sad story. I will stay connected and thank God that these children are going to go to another school. And I pray that the children do get counseling along with the family. And you know what? Guess what? I'm not mad at the dad. He said he traumatized too. People need to be sued in this case, y'all. They really do. That school system needs to be sued. This was 2 years she complained. They need to be sued. And she just said that she would come up to the school and they would tell her to tell them they ain't there. Go ahead, Savannah. I see you want to say something.
Thank you, Diva, for bringing the updates. While I don't need to know names and ages of the attackers, but I'm not hearing anything as the attackers or their families receiving any type of penalties, whether they're suspended from school or I'm not hearing anything on them. Is there any updates on the attackers?
Only updates I have is that a few of the families have spoken out. One of the children's the aunt seems to be unhinged because she's down with the FUs. Y'all don't care. We can all go kick rocks pretty much. Another mother just told her, she did a video telling her son, everybody in Chicago looking for you and I ain't going to help you. And then another mother I saw, she had a kid up there apologizing. This whole thing has been a hot stinking mess is all I can tell you. A hot stinking mess.
I am glad that those students, that lady's 2 children is going to a new school. Ooh.
Thanks, Yolanda.
Breaking news. Hopefully arrest warrants are being issued about dang time. About dang time. And the thing about it is, she has a disease. A very serious disease. What they did to her could have caused her to go into a severe episode that she possibly couldn't come back from. And so I felt her husband, the kid's father's pain. He says, every time I go to sleep, I see the video. I couldn't be there to protect my queen and my babies. I couldn't be there. There was nothing I could do. I want them held accountable. I want justice. I want the school to be held accountable. I want everybody to go down. His eyes said it forcefully, back it up by his words. And I hope they get the justice.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else before I close out? All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Listen, thank you for being here with me and spending this time with me. Y'all know the routine. If you ain't hit that like button on the way in, do the Diva a favor. Hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo, choo.
Choo, choo, choo.